We're finally at the end. 6 reasons why people could say, we're not interested, Jose. We're not interested in marrying your plan. Reason number 1 is you did not show enough value. If you didn't show enough value of the product, and not only just make statements and talk to them, but engage them, because when they say it, they own it. When you say it, they defend it. In other words, a presentation is engaging the client by asking questions along the way of what's important to them. Would you agree? What do you currently have? If I could, would you? You've engaged them. You didn't. If you didn't show enough value, maybe you've been talking too much. You're not asking enough questions. You're not engaging them, and they're not saying yes or giving you small yeses throughout the presentation because they're not comprehending what you're saying, and you're just talking and talking throughout the entire presentation, and that's it. So if you show enough value, there's a lot of aha moments. Wow, I did not know about that. Mr. and Mrs. Clients, did you know about this? Have you ever heard of this? Did you know about these facts? Did you know about annuities? Did you know about the demand? Did you know what's currently happening in the 401k, in the market? Did you know about term life, universal life, index universal life? What do you currently have at your job? Wow, did you know that? Have you ever heard of living benefits? You follow me? When you add enough value, people can say yes to you. But maybe you didn't add enough value. You got to go back and practice that. That's number 1. Number 2, you didn't identify the need. Everyone has different needs, and your job is throughout the presentation from the beginning to the end to find out what they're lacking. Everyone's lacking something. Savings, better interest, insurance, retirement planning, 401ks, not enough money in their 401k, IRAs. The reality is this, is that 65% of retirees, you ready? Today, retire with less than $10,000 to the name. Everyone has a need. And today, 50% of Americans don't have life insurance. There's 320 million people in the U.S. 50% don't have life insurance. Everyone has a need. Everyone has needs for their kids. You got to identify those needs. That's number 2. Number 3, you did not disturb them enough. In the sales presentation, especially in insurance and financial planning, one of the most important things is in a presentation is 2 things, is intrigue and disturb. Intrigue and disturb. Sugar, add some sugar, but add some salt. The sugar is intriguing, the education, taking an educational approach, presenting the wow factor. That's intriguing because a lot of people don't know about these financial concepts, but you do. You're licensed. You know a lot about different strategies, but a lot of people don't know about them. So intriguing is easy, but the disturbing part, you're not good at that. You're afraid to push the envelope. You're afraid to be a little bit controversial. You're afraid to just push a little bit. You got to push a little bit. Let me give you some examples. When people say, I want to think about it, you say this. And don't forget this, by the way, in sales, that stories sell, facts tell. Okay? A family, a husband and wife, any income, whatever it is, I don't care if you walk away with a $10 policy, they need to be insured because 50% of people don't have life insurance. Only God knows. We're on God's time. We're not on your time. Something can happen tomorrow. An illness, a car accident, you name it. Something can happen tomorrow. So we believe every single person, every family should not be left behind. You got to walk away by helping that client out. But you have to disturb. Let me give you an example. Joe and Mary, I understand you currently don't have life insurance, and I understand that you want to think about it. But let me just share with you why it's so important to have something in place for you, okay? I've been in the industry for now 16 years, 13 years since we started a PHP agency. I have so many stories of people, unfortunately, that wanted to think about it, and sadly were left with nothing because they suddenly passed away. I'll give you a short example. So one of my agents, we were just in Tulum, Mexico, a year and a half ago. His name is KT. Married, kids, they're brokers that opened up our Atlanta office. Great family, beautiful family, 4 kids, great people. He's only 29 years old. We're just a year and a half ago, we're having a blast in Mexico on a company trip, him and his wife. They leave the trip. She contacts my wife and says, hey, did you guys leave having stomach poisoning from this trip? We said, no, we're okay. Because my husband has some stomach pains, and she suggested we should go get checked out. Goes and gets checked out. And he's had physically, you can tell, like, the stomach was always slightly bigger than the rest of the body. He goes and checks out. Maybe I don't know when's the last time he's been checked out, but when he goes and gets checked out, it turns out the doctor tells him the bad news that that he's got stage 4 cancer spread out through his entire body, and it's not looking good for him. They gave him 6 months. He's 29 years old. Gets back home, or his wife is with him. Here's the news. She's terrified. She's only thinking about the next step, the worst thing that could happen is losing him. It turns out he's got to go to hospice, do radiation, cancer treatment, etc. 3 months later, 4 months later, $300,000 in medical bills. Good thing that he applied for a life insurance policy last year for $1 million term with living benefits. My sister happened to be the agent of record. They were able to file a claim for a chronic illness or a critical illness, and his wife got a check for $800,000 while he's alive in the hospital fighting for his life. But she had the financial stress for a short period of time, but because he got the check for $800,000, she can take care of the medical bills, take care of his hospice care, and make sure that he can rest peacefully in his house while she's taking care of him. She doesn't have to continue working because she's got the peace of mind. Sadly, a few months later, he passed away, just recently passed away a couple months ago, at age 29. But because he had a $1 million life insurance policy with living benefits, his family was taken care of. The 4 kids didn't have to worry about the stress, the financial stress. His wife doesn't have to go out there and get multiple jobs. He had a peaceful funeral because there was a plan in place. And that $1 million term was under $100 a month, by the way. It paid out just a year later, $800,000. And he's got another policy as well. So, Mr. and Ms. Klein, I know you want to think about it, but we want to make sure that there's no family left behind, and we certainly don't want any of your family to experience something like this suddenly. Would you agree? What is Joe thinking about? What is Mary thinking about at that very moment when I tell that story? Stories sell, facts tell. It's emotional. Yeah, you know what, Jose? You're right. You're right. Great. Here's what I want to do. For as little as $1 a day, $30 a month, would you agree that if we find a plan for you that's in your budget, that'll give you and your wife the peace of mind that you guys need? How would you feel, Mary, that you have that plan in place? How would you feel, Joe, have that plan in place? You know what? What's $30 a month? Hey, you know what? Let's do $100 a month. I can really do that. You can do that? Great. Let's get you guys qualified. Blah, 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 blah. Gather the information. Get them qualified. Does that make sense? Stories sell, facts tell, and you need to disturb, intrigue, and disturb. Number 4, you are in the wrong market. If you're not in the right market of married, over 25, kids, at least those top 3, married, kids, over age 25, homeowners is step 4. You're going to be climbing an uphill battle, okay? Why is that? Guys, there's millions of people out there that have jobs, income, home, that want these plans. If you're working with someone that's under 25, single, at home, no responsibilities, they don't see a value of insurance and planning ahead. They just don't. And you're trying to, put a plan in place for them that they're not even thinking about partying, thinking about hanging out. Married, kids, over age 25, preferably 35. Both jobs, you're in the right market. There's a need for that. Does that make sense? Very simple. Stay in the right market. If you're in the wrong market, you're not going to make a lot of money, period. And you're going to deal with chargebacks and a lot of headaches. If you're in the right market, those policies stay in the books for years. Families protected, referrals, you're in the right market. So focus on the right market. Number 5, too many statements, not enough questions. Once you practice and go from a poser, amateur to professional, you're going to realize the importance of being the best at listening and asking questions, not making so many statements and talking. Just because you got a license, just because you have a degree, you have a PhD, a master's, whatever you have, doctorate. As a matter of fact, in my office here, I have many PhDs and doctorates. Simplify to multiply. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. You got to be a better listener, ask questions, engage, gather information, show that you care. You care about them. You're there to meet their needs, not how much you know. No one cares how much you know. Find out, let them know how much you care, and you'll see the kind of results that you get. And number 6 is poor edification or poor credibility of the trainee. When you're sitting down with a family, okay, in the right market, and you're the trainee and you have a trainer, the trainee has to do his job to properly edify the trainer. If you don't have the most credibility just because of your situation in your market, people are going to look at you and already have perceptions of you and your intentions because of your lack of credibility. That's out of our control. The best thing you can do as a trainee, whether credibility or no credibility, is do your best at making a first impression, the best first impression of the way you introduce the trainer. You got to practice the proper edification because now they see me as a former knucklehead, for example. Not that I was too much of one, right? Former knucklehead, bill collector, da da da, whatever you want to call it. That's how they perceive me, friends, family, you name it. But I have one shot. They see me in a suit and tie, dressed up, taking notes. They're like, dude, this my buddy here, Jose. And now you do the best in edifying the trainer. They're gonna see you in a completely different way. That this is not the same Jose that we knew at age 18, at 23, at 25. This guy's going places because he's taking this very serious. It's not just showing up sloppy, not taking notes, not knowing how to introduce the person you're working with. You're late, just same as usual. You're just the same person. You're going to make the same impression you've always made. You got to do your best to edify. What does edification mean? Let me give you the proper edification of the trainer, of your director, of the broker. You ready? Hey, this is your buddy Oscar and his wife Connie, and these are friends of yours growing up, and you used to party with this guy. Okay. You can go, hey, Oscar, Connie, thanks for making some time, guys. You guys know my background, collections, but I came across an opportunity that I'm very excited about. They see you in a suit and tie, ready to take notes, like you're a professional to them. They know you, but now their perception of you is very different. And now you open your mouth to introduce the trainer the right way. Listen, Oscar, Connie, I want you guys to thank you again for your time, Oscar and Connie. Let me formally introduce you to my trainer. My trainer is Patrick. Okay, Patrick his time is so valuable. He's my personal mentor, my coach in business. He's trained and mentored hundreds of people. He runs many offices nationwide. He's helped a lot of people become financially independent. He has helped a lot of families when it comes to planning ahead in the financial industry. And everyone's fighting for his time. And I really want to just thank him for taking the time to mentor me personally because I have a goal in this business to make this my career. And I really want to make sure that Patrick takes me serious because I want him to know how valuable his time is. So thank you so much, Patrick, for coming out here and helping my good friends Oscar and Connie. I used to party with Oscar back in the day, but they're a great family. They have kids, and I think they can get a lot of value from this. And then Patrick's going to say, thank you, Jose, for the introduction. Good to meet you, Oscar and Connie. But now you are so confident in your approach. You articulated, you didn't stutter, you were sincere, you introduced them properly. That added so much credibility for you, so much more trust for you, because your job is to edify the person you're working with that's going to be presenting. You do that properly, you're making a great first impression. You're taking away all assumptions, all judgments from the person that know you or the people that know you. If you do a good job with that, then the trainer will do their part of properly mentioning your name. For example, Oscar Connie, we're so excited for Jose to be part of our broker training program. He's going through classroom training, state licensing, and this will be called field training, where we believe 30 minutes in the field is like 10 hours in the classroom. Would you guys agree? Would agree. Very excited for Jose. Does that make sense? It's a win-win when you're working together. It's a win-win when you are practicing. It's a win-win when your delivery is great and you can take away all those perceptions. You can make a great first impression and get results. So hope that helped. Practice, drill, rehearse, listen to this audio over and over again. Create your own stories. Create your own scripts. Write it out. Practice while you're driving, while you're working out. Become a student of the business. Before you know it, you're mastering this game. There'll be so many other videos we'll be doing to helping you improve your approach, helping you improve, go from an amateur to a professional. And if you stick with this business long enough, guys, I can tell you, it'll change your life. You'll become financially independent one day. You'll be so proud of the person you become because of the person you decided to chase after and the mastery you decided to go out there and focus on in this incredible industry. So looking forward to meeting you soon and looking forward to having you watch more videos soon. Thank you.